I'm wondering why this is necessary. I have in front of me a letter from EGLE dated January 27th, which lists 10 reasons why application is denied. Are we hiring this lawyer to negotiate these points or what?
Yes, and I think that is entirely appropriate to ask him directly what his recommendations are, and that's why we would have a meeting with the board and your council associated with what the appropriate responses are to those types of letters. Again, Mr. Siegel is actually one of the ones that was involved in writing the legislation that promulgated the rules that we're dealing with. He's an expert on them. He knows what the rules require and what they don't require. It is correct that EGLE has asked us for various information. We've responded to various information. You pick out one letter, we probably have 13 or so letters that are all part of the public record that we have shared publicly with the Tribune and others. I think it's entirely appropriate that the board and the council fully become abreast of their legal responsibilities in this regard. And I think it is entirely appropriate for you to have counsel. So if you ask why you need counsel, it's for that reason. You're getting letters like this and others, significant others, associated with compliance issues associated with the cleanup of Harbor Island. And that's why you need legal counsel. And actually, your city attorney is suggesting that, yes, it is entirely appropriate for you to have special legal counsel. At the end of the day, I think what will likely happen is there will be a negotiated consent order, which is common in these regards, that EGLE and EPA and their attorneys and our attorneys will be working on a consent order to resolve all of these outstanding issues. And it would be entirely, it would be to not have special legal counsel that is abreast of these rules and understanding the rules. To not have it would be rather not recommended for me. So I think it is recommended that we do have legal counsel. Our recommendation is that you, as soon as possible, get together with the board and council and council in this regard. And quite frankly, I am the quote legal appointed responsible individual on your behalf that has to sign all this stuff and receive all those letters. I think it's in your best interest to get legal counsel. So we've investigated as staff who we thought would be the appropriate person to represent the city, to represent your interests. And we think Arthur would be, and that's the recommendation from Eric as well. He's the one that's been specifically involved in most of this. But I think before you start making determinations on whether the city did something right, wrong, or otherwise, I think you should have legal counsel there, and you should be advised by them. So,
Dave, I will take issue with you on whether or not all of these letters have been made public. I know I didn't receive this letter through your office or through the BLP. And so I question whether it has been made public or not. That's just one point. What concerns me is the larger picture here. We hired Golder supposedly as a firm that could walk us through this process. But we've got all kinds of things in this letter that according to them, they're claiming haven't been done. I don't understand at this point how we could be missing so many things. Just a minute. The other issue that I have is, do we have a budget for this? And if so, what is it?
Again, John, you're taking one letter out of a series of letters back and forth between Golder and the EPA and EGLE. EGLE said, we need this. Golder responds and says, we think we have given you what you needed. It goes back and forth and back and forth. All of those letters have been reviewed by Golder,
Is this the
by
latest?
council,
Is
by
this the
Garrett.
latest?
This is really not the appropriate time to talk about one letter in that whole
Is
thing.
this the latest letter received from Eagle?
What's that?
Is this the latest letter received from Eagle? January 27th?
No.
Well, there are others we haven't seen either.
John, there are, if you want to get copies of every single piece of correspondence that I get, then that all of the information, and when I say we receive the letters and they're available to the public, those letters have been FOIA'd by the Tribune, and all of the information that we have, all of the files, everything else, what Andrew was talking about as well, was that all of the information that we have is all part of the quote public record, and it's all available. We have thousands of pages of reports, letters, correspondences, and you have chosen